Hey guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joi. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 77. I'm your host, Phebe Joi, and hi, hey, and welcome. Hey everybody, welcome back. Glad you are here. We are here at the end of February. I hope your last couple of weeks, really like your month of February, went well because we're in our last week. This was like the quickest month ever. And even though it's the shortest month, it doesn't always feel like the shortest. So this time it kind of did. It's here and it's gone. So that works for me. We had some nice, sneaky, warm days. I call them sneaky because, man, after the cold, like winter storm that we had, which it did snow quite a bit, after that winter storm, man, and being stuck in the cold and having all that snow and ice, we did get tricked with some nice days, some 50s, even I think low 60, like 60, 61 type weather, which just spoiled us because it's back cold again. In fact, I'm recording this Sunday night before this comes out, and it snowed like all day today. I'm like, oh my goodness. But hey, aside from that, my last couple weeks have been pretty good. I hope yours has been well. You guys, next week, I'm going to hit the ground running with easing back into life, and we're going to talk about that. But first, hey, how are you? I hope you're good. I want to share just a couple of things that I only have literally two things written down that I have shared before. I believe, I don't know in what episode, but in episodes in the past that I just quickly want to bring up again because they came across my mind again. And in case you haven't listened to it, then just something for you to hear, but something for you to practice as well. And that is, I wrote down, I love, and I've said this before, y'all have heard me say it, when my past self takes care of my future self. And you're like, what do you mean? Okay, well, last time I talked about this, I've mentioned this before when I have had like some candy and I stick the candy in my purse or in my car or somewhere where I am likely to forget about it and usually do, and then, but discover it later. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, you know? So my past self takes care of my future self, which ends up becoming my present self. And I'm like, oh, I found my candy that I forgot about. This is perfect. Like this piece of chocolate or this high chew candy. My husband got me some high chews for Valentine's Day. It's these chewy candies, chewy fruity candies that I first tried in Hawaii, and discovered that they actually do have them here, and I love them. And so Hubs bought me a big old bag of them. Ugh, and just talking about it makes me want to go get some. And notice I said some. I can't just eat one. I have to eat like three, four, or five at a time. But when I've mentioned this before, I mentioned with candy, but this time I want to say that so I haven't driven my own car in probably since before I had Fee, and not for a while anyway. Um, First because I couldn't, and then because there's like literally nowhere to go, and then there was the snowstorm and all that other stuff. Well, when I did go to drive, I got in my car and I realized, oh my goodness, my gas was filled up. Apparently, the last time I got into my car, I filled up my tank, and I'm like, thank you, past Phoebe, for taking care of future Phoebe. And so I had to share that because you guys, maybe we need a reminder that this past Phoebe, which technically is present Phoebe, needs to take care of future Phoebe, which will become present Phoebe again. Once again, past you will become future you. It will and be present you. You guys know what I mean. Um, but so I'm thinking, obviously there are some ways where past you, which currently is present you, will take care of future you, which will eventually be present you as well. In the big ways. Like there is if you exercise now, it will help you out in the future, right? Like, yeah, if you do it now, 6 months in, future you, which will eventually then be present you, is going to thank the past you for putting in all the work. And that's just a principle across the board, right? What you do now affects the future. But I just want to say, also in the little stuff, okay? So whether it's a piece of candy or putting gas in your car, do those little things that take care of future you too. Because sometimes the big stuff, like you guys, y'all know. So I just have my kids, so I'm trying to eventually get into working out again and, getting back in shape, getting back active again. And so obviously I'm thinking about, okay, who I am now, the baby steps I take now will definitely affect my future. And I need to think about that and do that. But sometimes I don't want to think that big and I just want to think small enough that like, okay, if I fill my car with gas now, guess what? It's going to be nice in the future. It's kind of like, those people who naturally are the work now, play later type people. That's not me. I do not naturally do the work now, play later. I am totally one of those work when you feel like it because you'll be a lot more productive. And if you feel like play, because why not? That's my perspective. But there is something to be said about getting some stuff done now that you could do now and save yourself the time later. And so just throwing that out there. But I have mentioned it before, but I thought I'd mention it again just in case it's relevant to you. And the second thing was just because it happened again that you guys, the struggle, I don't know how to park my car in a way next to a window where I do not have to like lean out my window, but open my door while leaning out. Like I'm telling you, and I've mentioned this, I know I have, especially, I think I hit it the most when it comes to like, at the bank or something and trying to like get into the ATM. I always lean, but I end up having to unlock and open my car door anyway because I can't lean far enough. My arm's not long enough or whatever. Yeah. Well, I did the same thing when I was at where was I? I went to Walgreens, yeah, to pick up some meds. And haven't you guys who has to like lean out their car window? I do. And the car in front of me had to too. Um I had to lean out the car window and open the door in order to reach the package, to reach my meds, to get into the car. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? I don't know if I've just seen people who don't have to lean, in which case what's your trick? Like I unbuckle my seatbelt, all of that, and I still have to open my car door. Maybe you're like you got to get close. I guess I don't get close enough because I'm worried, maybe my car was going to hit the side. I don't know, but all I know is I'm always having to open that door, and it's unhelpful. But anywho, so that is two things, two moments, because I actually did go out and about a little bit these past couple weeks, which is, me easing into life. And so those are the things that I've noticed that either just hasn't changed or that I've experienced that maybe, just maybe, someone else can relate to as well. But anywho, so my next segment, which I've been doing anyway, I just haven't named it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and name it, and it's called Life with Fee. Okay, and that is just this newborn, new motherhood life, things that I've noticed, things that maybe you can relate to, maybe things you can't relate to, but you can at least get a kick out of. And that is just different stuff. So starting out with my life with Fee. First off, she is growing. My little preemie baby is growing. And the way I can tell I can kind of tell with her clothes wise, she's now in newborn clothes and not just preemie clothes. But she has eyelashes and the beginning of eyebrows. You might think, what? Don't most babies and humans? No, my poor little baby was born without eyebrows. And these teensy little lashes. I was like, those are so tiny. I thought that's what she would have the rest of her life, but they're actually growing in. Same with her eyebrows. I was like, okay, so some stuff does just take some time to grow. Like it's duh. Like of course when you think about it, but when you're in it, you're kind of like, oh, this little human, she is still growing and she's going to be growing for the rest of her life, really. But definitely growing kind of those normal adult human child whatever you want to call them features such as eyelashes and eyebrows, and so I was excited to see that. I'm like, she's growing, my baby's growing. And that was cool. And like I said, she's starting to fit newborn clothes, which is great. We're out of her preemie clothes, her little preemie onesies, her head can barely fit in, so we are moving on to the newborn clothes, and I'm very excited about that. Now, one thing that we've hit this week. So she's 7 weeks now. So week 6 and week 7. She is become just a spit upper. She always spit up a little bit the first couple of weeks, but I tell you what, she has been spitting up and drooling and just doing a lot more with that mouth of hers. I'm chewing on stuff, chewing on her hands, chewing on her clothes, chewing on her passy. All the little things, and it's nice to see that she's growing. But I will say the spit up thing, that hasn't been near as fun, especially when it's unexpected, especially when you just changed her outfit and then she spits up again. And I'm learning because I was like, okay, it'll dry, it'll be fine. Nope, spit up when it dries just smells really stale and nasty. So don't let that happen. Just go ahead and change the clothes. Um, so we did that, learning that. And then I found the similarity between her and my cat, and that's trying to catch the spit up because just like her, my cat also, if you have a cat, then you know they start making little sounds before they spit up a hairball or whatever they want to throw up. And so I'm trying to catch him to get him off the carpet or off the rug and onto the hard floor. Same thing with my precious little Fee. When I start hearing like just the little gurgling sound, I'm like, oh no. And I try to grab her little burp cough rag, which you guys, I didn't realize I would need so much to catch that spit up. Yeah, so taking care of baby is like taking care of kitty. Trying to catch that spit up before it gets everywhere. But so that's kind of been a somewhat new thing these last couple weeks, new as far as frequency. Just like her eating, I think she's eating more often and eating more, but also eating random amounts. Like for a little bit, she was consistently like every 3 hours eating like 2 ounces, like boom. But now she's like 3 ounces, 2 ounces, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, every 3.5 hours, four, two, one. Y'all, I can't figure out a system for her. So we're just trying to go with the flow, trying to figure out a way to, keep her fed without wasting a ton of formula, because formula ain't cheap. Yeah, and I'm still doing the nursing thing, kinda. We're working on it. I do it. I'm pumping. We're trying. But she is mostly formula fed, and so trying to figure that out has been just fun, but not terrible. And so anyway, so with her spit up, we also experienced her first major blowout. Luckily, one of my besties was over and she helped me take care of it. It actually happened today. So after church today, we've been watching online still. But one of my besties came by, her and her husband, and brought us some dinner and hung out with us and, spent time with Fee. And of course, while Bestie was here, Fee decided to go ahead and give a big blowout. I thought she was stinky. I thought she was releasing quite a bit of stuff down there. You guys, I was like, let me change her diaper. My friend was just about to leave, y'all. This was like 7 p.m., just about to leave. I was like, let me change her diaper. I go to open it. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, it was all over her. Of course, her diaper, all over her onesie, on her stomach. I was like, friend, what do I do? And like a good friend, like a bestie friend she is, she took over. She cleaned up that mess, changed that diaper for me, cleaned up all of that, all the mess that was everywhere. I was so appreciative. I was like, thank you, friend. So she will forever be the one that cleaned up my fees. First blowout, much appreciated. So then after that, I was like, we got to give her a bath. And when I bathe Fee, all she does is cry and scream like I'm murdering her. hmm I don't know what it is. I've tried different things and she just does not like it. But my friend, we tried some new stuff. We brought a little bathtub thing in, and believe it or not, my Fee did not scream. She only kind of whimpered a couple of times. But we were able to give her a very nice, warm, soothing bath after that. And I know it was soothing because she was able to go to sleep after that. And I last time I tried to give her a bath late because I read online, of course, all the social media and everything. Give them a bath before they go to bed and it'll soothe them. I was like, okay. I was like, mine, she'll scream and cry, but maybe that'll get her like worn out. Nope, didn't work. It was like a couple of days ago, I gave her that bath. It was like 11 p.m. I was like, she's gonna be exhausted after this. We're gonna get some good sleep. No, that woke her up. it did not soothe her. It put her in a state of agitation where she wasn't ready to go to sleep for another 2 hours. It was like 1:30 before this child was like trying to close her eyes, and even then she was like, mm. So that type of bath that I gave her did not work, but the bath that my bestie here gave her did seem to soothe her. So I need to practice that, and work on that, giving her nice little soothing baths apparently, and not the ones that stress her out. Um, but yeah, so that's my fee and her bodily functions. And speaking of her bodily functions and having to deal with it, so my husband and I, we wait till we collect quite a bit of her clothing in her hamper, before we wash it. We've got tons of clothes. It's great. So we did that, and you guys, okay. So Hubs put all the lovely clothes and blankets and things for her in the wash machine, and we go to wash it. I was like, oh, let me throw in there the sheet from her bassinet. Real before we, use it tonight, it'll be nice and clean, it'll be ready to go. So we did it. I don't know what time of night we decided, what time at night we decided to wash the clothes. But um next thing I know, I'm texting Hubs. I'm like, hey, make sure that it's dried before tonight. It's getting late. Da da da. He's like, okay. Well, y'all, he goes to put her clothes into the dryer, and come to find out, apparently, somehow, some way, like 5 different diapers got stuck, like got accidentally mixed in with her clothes. Y'all, luckily they were not dirty diapers, but I guess we had a stack of diapers near her hamper or something. Maybe they fell in. I don't know, but like the stuff inside the diapers, like the some type of gel, but like some type of like squishy stuff and some type of like foamy stuff. Y'all, I don't even know. The stuff they put inside the diapers were, of course, the diapers are ripped open and they're all on our clothes. Our clothes are like, it looks like snow is on them, like on all of her clothes, not our clothes, her clothes, like all just all over everything. It's like sticky, it's flaky. It's I was like, oh my goodness. We were like, no, because we gotta start all over. So I tried to like brush off all the clothes and just brush it off and then put the rest of the clothes back into the wash machine to wash again. And so we washed it again and then we did dry it again. So now it's like, I don't know, midnight, 1 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. I think it was 1 o'clock. And I go to check it and it's mostly good, but there's still like, I'm going to have to go through it again and either brush or close. Like a lot of it did go away. The wash machine did get a lot of it, but I think maybe one more good wash will knock out the rest of it. Y'all, has anyone ever done that? Like accidentally washed a diaper with clothes? It's devastating. But luckily, like I said, thank God they weren't dirty diapers because I was like, if I see some smears in this, I'm gonna be like, blah. But it wasn't. So anyway, so just the little things, the things that make life that you're not gonna forget, that you're gonna tell a story about one day in the future. And we're like, hey kiddo, when you were a newborn, we accidentally washed like 5 diapers with your clothes. And had to wash it 3 times after that. And you're probably saying, oh, just wait. Y'all, I have a feeling. But anyway, so we have kind of made it through that. Like I said, I think one more good wash is all that we'll need to do to to really knock the rest of that out. Hopefully, we'll see. But anywho, so you guys, I do have to shout out. You guys know I've been on social media, and on there, you guys know they have all kinds of advice. They have all kinds of things they want to tell you about having a newborn. It's helpful and then it's overwhelming at the same time. So I'm not trying to throw out advice or anything like that, but I will say one thing that was helpful was having this Moby wrap thing. And I think I mentioned it, like having a wrap, putting her in it, and it does help free up your hands. Fantastic. I recommend it 100% if you have a newborn or baby or whatever that likes to be by you or even that you like to have next to you. I put a lot of blame on her and be like, she just wants to be around me. She has to be with me. But honestly, I like it too. Like I like having her right next to me. I don't like having her down and away from me. The only hard part about having her next to me is when you don't have your hands to do stuff, right? But aside from that, I just love having her near. I don't know, it's comforting for me too. But one thing that I've noticed that I gotta watch out for is when I'm eating, because man, y'all, cookie crumbs, because I've been eating some cookies lately. My husband, for Valentine's Day, he got me a cookie cake, a brookie cake, I should say. So cookie brownie cake and my high shoes. So I've been eating that and I feel terrible because the crumbs will fall on her little head. And I was like, oh no. So it's nice having her there. But then I do have to be so much more careful when I eat because literally if I spill anything, and y'all know I can be a messy eater, it just falls right on her little head. And so yes, I noticed my cookie crumbs are getting on her little head. So I will say, if you have a wrap, be careful with what you eat because it might fall on your poor little baby's head. And yeah, and then you'll be stuck trying to fish that out and not trying to wake them up at the same time. And feeling guilty. And I will say also, if you have them on a wrap, be careful going through doorways. I did not dink her head on the door. I did not, but I will say I was walking out. I think I was just being too comfortable. And man, it got close. I was like, ooh, I was like, her little head was right there. So you do have to be careful of that too. But she and I are both enjoying the body wrap, having her up close and everything like that. I've definitely loved that. And the next thing that I've done with all of my fee, you're like, oh my, tell me more. Yes. The next thing I've done with my fee is I ordered a stroller, which it took me forever. You guys, trying to find what you should buy as a parent, car seat, stroller, bottle stuff, like all of it, it can be overwhelming, extremely overwhelming. Just back, like, remember back when I was saying even making a list for the baby shower is overwhelming. Same thing, like when you go to just buy stuff because you hear all these reviews, oh, this is great for that, or this is good for that, or blah 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 blah, or there's a con with this and the pro of that, and it can be overwhelming. Same with ordering a stroller. So I've been meaning to order one. And it's just, of course, because I've mentioned it, all the ads on Facebook, all the reels on Instagram, everything is showing me strollers. So all I see are just strollers and different types of strollers and $1,000 strollers, which there's this one, I did one. It was like $1,100. And I was like, Hubs, can I have that? And he was like, negative. um, and so all these things, it's overwhelming. It's a lot. But and yes, I was watching like the YouTube video reviews too, like just everything trying to figure it out. So eventually I did get one. I got one that was on sale from Target. And I'm happy with it though. It had great reviews and it came in. Woohoo! And I have it now. My mom luckily put it together for me. Y'all, mom, what would I do without her, okay? She put that together for me. I made this my hubs, he was talking about how we were running out of counter space because we have like the bottle washer sterilizer thing and the bottle warmer and all the bottles, and it was kind of taking over our counter. So I ordered this cart, like a kitchen cart that we put at the edge of our counter, and on that I put all the bottle stuff, and it's helped clean up the space a lot, I would say. And so anyway, I said all that to say my mom helped me put that together. I say help me. My mom put that together as well. And that's been helpful. But anyway, so I ordered the stroller and it's in my car. I'm so excited to walk with it. I need warm weather, you guys. I'm ready. I'm like, okay, bring on the warm weather so Fee and I can get out in it. Because I tell you what, when it's like freezing, I do not want to take my baby out there. My little, 7 pound, I'm assuming she's 7 pounds now, but my little 7 pound baby, like she is still so little. I don't want her experiencing that cold. Though I know they can do it. I know infants are resilient, but I'm still like, I don't want to put her through that, even just now. I'm not talking about going for a walk in a stroller, but even just putting her in the car and taking her places. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about all that. So I'm definitely ready for warmer weather, to walk her in the stroller. I'm ready for the zoo. I got to get my zoo membership so I can walk with mom and my friends and anybody who wants to walk with me. I'm ready to do that, you guys. I am so excited. Now, so the new stroller came in and my mom put it together, and so I had to watch the video on how to like fold it up and stuff. Yeah, okay, y'all. So the video and everything I see is like, this is a handed fold. You can fold it up and down with just one hand. Okay, says who? Says who? Because I tried it. I could fold it down. Y'all, I got to practice that because I was knocking it over. It was falling to the side. I was like, this is not good. This stroller feels huge. I mean, like I said, it's had fantastic reviews and everything. But y'all, I am gonna have to figure this thing out. I'm like, I don't know. We gonna have to figure something out. Um, but alas, you guys, I am totally ready to go to the zoo. Yeah, even though, it's not summer yet, but when I get there, I'm ready. I'm ready to meet some new mom friends. While I was at Target, like looking at the stroller, I had a chance to meet two new mom friends. I didn't meet them, but I had a chance, and I kind of communicate it with them, which was like, maybe if I do this, that I'll be able to like meet some people. And the first thing was when I looked online, Target was the one that had the stroller for sale. And so they had one in store. It was the display. And so while I couldn't order that one, I was like, well, this will give me a chance to kind of play with it in person. And so I was playing with it. The lovely store guy got it down for me. And so I was playing with it. And a lady came up with her baby, probably a little toddler, maybe a year and a half, 2 years old. And she was over there. And I was like, gosh, these strollers. And she was like, yeah. And I felt like I could have had a conversation with her. Like we both smiled at each other. And like I said, I don't briefly like greeted each other. But I felt like I could have probably had a conversation with her. And then when I was heading to my car, a lady had parked next to me and she was getting her kid out of the car seat, and she had one of those swivel car seats where it can turn to face the door, so you don't have to like twist your body to get your kid in there. I definitely wanted one of those, but so I was like, "Hey, I really like your car seat. What kind was it?" And she told me, and I was like, "See, I could have made a mom friend there." I'm like, "Okay, so being out during the day, I guess you run into other moms," and I'm like, "Okay, I am bound and determined to make a mom friend this year. I maybe more later in the year when I'm out and about with my kid, but I'm like, okay, I want to make one. So you guys will see. Of course, I'll let y'all know on the podcast if I do end up making one. But I'd like to make one, and I'd like to join like a mom group of some kind. I don't know exactly what kind I'd want to like a mom walking group or something. I'm not entirely sure which one I'd want to join, but I do look forward to that in the next couple years. It doesn't even have to happen this year, but it is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm like, okay, I gotta make some friends, y'all. I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring on, bring on the mom friend life. Bring on the stay at home mom life. I'm here for it. But anywho, so with all this looking at things, like looking at strollers and stuff, y'all know I love Facebook Marketplace because I like looking for things. I don't need things brand new hardly. So I like to find stuff on sale. Well, I've been looking, of course, for strollers and all kinds of stuff on there. And one thing I've noticed that will lean me towards buying something is if there is like a story behind the product. And here's what I mean. So I've, of course, saved lots of like posts that I like that I'm like, okay, I like this one, I like that one, I'm going to come back to that one. But the ones that really get me are the ones that are like, hey, we have this stroller for the last year. It's done us so well. We're only selling it because we need a bigger one. Asking this much, blah, 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 blah. Versus the ones that are like, this is the stroller, like new, cost this much. Like that's fine. Like it's very straightforward. But the ones that are kind of like give me a little background info, like, hey, bought this, my kid loved it, or etc., or whatever the product is, that's the one that I kind of want to go for. So for anyone out there who's thinking about selling something on Marketplace, which I think I might at some point, some of the stuff that we don't need, um, put a little story there. I think it might be helpful. I think people might like lean in when they feel like, okay, I know a little bit about this item other than just it's available. At least for me, I'm like, I like to know where it's coming from and why it's coming to me. But anywho, so those are my things with Fee, my life with Fee. I do have a couple of things that I want to talk about that are Fee adjacent. So not quite about Fee, but just kind of related to her. And the first thing is that, and I've mentioned this before, this is kind of part of my journey, that places can trigger things. um, I've said this before, like it can trigger, it just triggers thoughts and emotions. And the way that I experienced that in this past week is I had my 6 week follow up with my OB. And like, as I was going up the elevator, I think I was going up or going down the elevator, I just reflected on me in that elevator in the last couple years. I've ridden that elevator when I was pregnant with Elena. I rode in that elevator when I had my appointments while I lost Elena, those follow up appointments. I've ridden in that elevator when I was pregnant with Phebe. Um, and, n- and now I've ridden in the elevator now that I've had her and she's in my arms. And so I got in that elevator and I just thought about like every one of those different scenarios. Like I remember when I first went in the elevator for those appointments with Elena and just being so excited and just, seeing her ultrasounds and getting pumped about her. And then I remember riding in that elevator when I lost her and the sadness that I felt. And I remember riding with other pregnant women. I may have even mentioned on the podcast then, um, and just the different spaces we were in, the other women who I was like, they're still pregnant with their babies. And here I am riding this elevator without my baby, still big belly, but without the baby. Um, and then, of course, riding it again with Fee, riding it multiple times with Fee with all the appointments. And then this time I got to ride it again and I had my baby. I was like, I'm on the other side of that. And I don't know. I didn't have a point to say other than it was interesting to reflect on experiencing different seasons in the same place. Like literally, if you think about, summer, winter, fall, spring, um, y'all, I did not say that in order. It doesn't matter. But like it just think about the seasons being in the same place, but how it looks different. And that elevator for me was like the same place, but it looked different, at different times. And I don't know, I just thought about that and was like, man, that's so interesting to me. It just triggered different things, different emotions. Same elevator, different emotions, different feelings, different thoughts, different seasons. It blows my mind. And I just found it interesting. But the other thing that I wanted to mention that was kind of fee adjacent was the idea of looking back. So obviously I've been reflecting on this season and praying about it, still working it out with the Lord. And I got a book idea. Okay. I haven't fully fleshed it out. In fact, talking to you guys, y'all know I have lots of book ideas. Doesn't mean I'm ever going to write it, but I was thinking about, so like, what if, because when I was talking to God, I was like, imagine having a conversation with God and he's telling you literally like everything that's going to happen. So he's just like, hey, let's say 12 years ago, 13 years ago when I first married my husband, or even 8, 9 years ago when we first trying to have a kid, God was like, "Hey, um, I just want to let you know that you're not going to get your kid right away, but you will get your kid." And I'm just picturing this conversation. So I'd be like, "Okay, God, but I do get my kid eventually." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, totally." And she'll be perfectly fine and healthy. Oh yeah, definitely. And I have a reason for her being born when she's born. You just got to get there. Great. Okay, Lord. Fantastic. Um, and then God's like, okay, so you're going to have to go through some stuff though to get there. All right, God, I can do that, especially knowing that, I still get there in the end. Of course, I'll go through whatever. Um, and then God, he goes through like all this beautiful season I'm going to have with her and everything. And then he's like, okay. So we have this long conversation about how it's going to be beautiful, how I'm going to watch her grow, how I'm going to have this big family and everything. And it's amazing. And then he's like, you just got to get to it. And I'm like, God, of course I can get to it. Knowing that I'm going to have this beautiful family, knowing that I'm going to have everything that you've mentioned, of course. And then God said, okay, so you're willing to go through whatever it takes to get there. Yes. And then he goes, okay, are you willing to go through whatever it takes to get there, having no memory of this conversation? What? Mm-hmm. I've told you everything that you are going to experience that's going to be beautiful and amazing and all you could ever dream for. But in order for you to get there, you can't know about that yet. what? Yeah. Like this conversation will be erased from your memory, and you're just going to have to live life trusting me. You will get, like, I will give you hints. I will do anything to encourage you. I'll send people to encourage you along the way. I just will not reveal your future to you, because that's part of the journey. That's part of some of the lessons to be learned. And eh, are you still willing? And so I can just picture me, like, so imagine the whole book written about, like, obviously more detail and stuff like that, being like, okay, God, okay, I'll trust you. Sure, okay, I'll try. And then boom, like memory erased. And it's just me asking God for my family. And God knows He's going to give me one. But because there's some growing and learning for me to do, He hasn't, He can't tell me, He can't like reveal it all, right? He can do bits and pieces or encourage me along the way, but He's not going to reveal it. And yet, so it's like mutual trust. Like He has to trust me in my decision. I said, okay, I think I can do it. And then I have to trust Him. And then when we get there, I'm like, oh God, this is what I dreamed. This is what I was hoping for. This is what I had glimpses of a vision of maybe a conversation we've had, like could you just imagine that book? Anyway, imagine it written very nicely, but like just kind of like it like God, I just imagine Him picturing, I can tell you everything. And if I told you everything, you would agree to it. But you almost have to trust yourself to go through it. And God's like, do you trust me? Uh-huh. I trust you. Like it takes almost mutual trust. Like, okay, let's do it. And then you go through years of uncertainty and disappointment and heartache and loss and all those things. But on the other side, God's like, but there's a plan. There's lessons, there's things, there's character building, there's all that He couldn't reveal all of it because then where's the character building? Where's the trust? Where's the faith? But He could encourage along the way. Anyway, so I thought about that and I was like, ooh, that would be a cool book. Like some type of just rhetorical type book where like somebody is like, he goes into this awesome detail. That would be a few chapters and all that stuff. But then the book ends with like their memory being wiped and then they have to literally go through life, go through the years of like not being sure, but they're growing. And then y'all, I don't know. That's just my book. So anyway, if I ever write the book, I'll let y'all know. Y'all already know the ending. But anywho, so yeah, like I just thought about that. I was like, okay, God, some things He reveals and some things He doesn't. Um, but He has a plan from the beginning to the end. And so I just was like, that'd be interesting. Like imagine that God did that and then He like wiped my memory or something like. I'm trying to think of what movie that was, or what is it, Men in Black, where they wipe your memory of the events. So, anyways, that's just another thing, y'all, that I think about and I've thought about this last week. Like I said, it's more fee adjacent than than fee related, but it's all part of my journey, right? Okay, so just a few more things. First thing, so next segment is what's on my algorithm. Very quick segment. The thing on my algorithm on my Instagram lately has been voice actors. Just actors reading things. And especially the men who have bass voices. And they're like, this is what like this commercial would sound like, a truck commercial. And he's like, every man has to have a truck, or something like that. And then just all kinds of voice actors. And then there's this one he's a voice actor who sounds like President Obama and President Trump, and he does them. Oh, that's my fee. I've been holding her. She's been doing good. But President Obama and President Trump and like them at different things. He'd be like, this is the president's during when they were babies in daycare, or this is how they sound if they were this animal, or this is how they would sound if they were truck drivers, or just whatever. And it's funny, y'all. Anyway, so that's been on my algorithm as voice actors. Yeah, one day, y'all, one day. Especially the men who have really low voices too, for whatever reason. That's been one thing. And then the other thing that I want to share, this is my food segment. So like I said, that was very quick. my Wasn't Phoebe's algorithm segment, very quick. My food segment is okay, nothing but cakes. So you guys know when I talked about the what was that one that I never got to try? It was like the Biscoff cookie cake or whatever, and I didn't get to try it, and it had great reviews. Okay, there's another one that's coming out. I have to get to it somehow. It says it's limited time only. I don't know exactly when it'll be over, but it is the banana pudding one, and I can just imagine how amazing that tastes. I can just imagine. So I have to get it. I have to. If I don't, you go get it, please. Cause I mean, just think about it. Like the nothing bundt cakes, the bundt cakes are good anyway. The sweet ones are good anyway. The ones that are not just like chocolate flavored. I don't do the chocolate flavored bundt cakes. If I want chocolate, I'm going for a cookie or a brownie. So I like the more like the sweeter tasting ones. You guys, can you just imagine that banana one? Oh, I know it's going to be good. I'm determined. I am determined to get that before it's gone, which means I'm probably not going to get it like this week. And I will let y'all know how it is. But I had to let y'all know that there is a banana pudding one that's coming out. If you have a nothing but cake near you, get it. Get one for me. Get two for me. One for me, one for you. And I'll have to let y'all know how it is. Y'all have to let me know how it is. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get out and about and be able to do that. In fact, as I wrap things up here, you guys heard my little Phee kind of stirring a little bit. As I wrap things up, you guys, I'm easing back into life, but easing back into life with the quickness. I start back at work next week. I'm still not going full time per se because I got lots of appointments and things and ladies conference coming up. And so I do have some days off, which I am excited to still spend that time with Fee. But I am going back to work this weekend. I have ladies conference practice. This will be like my first time singing in months, like at a practice or anything. So say a prayer for me that my voice is still there, that I can breathe. But yeah, so that's coming up. And then, of course, with the practices actually comes ladies' conference in a couple of weeks. And you guys, this will be my first ladies' conference with my baby. Y'all, if you've listened to my podcast around previous ladies' conference times, then you know that ladies conference is one of those places where so far every one of them I've been empty-handed. The last one actually last March, I had a miscarriage literally that week. Um, that weekend before leading into that week. And that was the last ladies conference. The conference before that, I had just like I'd lost like it's every conference has been rough as far as in that season of my life. So this is gonna be my first one with a baby. I am excited. I'm only singing two of the four services. I'm gonna try to make all four though, like just to take my baby and enjoy conference. I don't know. You guys, it's a different season. And I am excited about it. And I don't know. I'm pumped. I'm excited about this conference, be my first ladies conference with my Fee, with my baby, in this new season. I am pumped. So I'm very excited about that. I do have appointments coming up. Y'all, I'm going to be out and about. I hope the weather warms up for me. It looks like there's like a couple of warm days thrown in, but it's still going to be mostly cold. But I do hope the weather does start to warm up as I start to get out in it more and wanting to get Fee out in it more. So yeah, so I am excited about life coming up. Like I said, work coming up. So my next couple episodes, I'll be able to be like, "Hey guys, it's more than just me and Fee." Because lately, all I have to talk about is me and Fee, me, Fee, and the Lord. Okay, me, Fee, the Lord, and social media. But as I start getting back out there in the world, we'll get into some more things. And with life and all of that stuff, but I am excited about that coming up. Looking forward to be out in the world. Looking forward to the warm weather. Looking forward to my Fee being out in the world. She will be 8 weeks this Saturday, so that's like 2 months. I'm so excited. And yeah, so anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This was a little shorter end on the podcast. That's kind of all we got this time. Like I said, my girl, she was stirring a little bit. She's back asleep now, but we'll see how long that lasts, y'all. But thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in and for still hanging out with me. I hope y'all have an amazing next couple of weeks. I hope the end of your February is fantastic, and I hope you have a fantastic introduction into March. So yeah, thank y'all for listening, and I will catch y'all in a couple weeks.